This is the story of a dream and a memory. The dream of a boyhood many years ago, and a memory that will last forever. We sailed from San Francisco on a crystal clear afternoon. The Bay Bridge was soon left astern, and as our ship headed for the Golden Gate Bridge, I began to realize that my dream was actually becoming a reality. At the aft railing, I first saw Walter and Wanda, happy, fortunate, for at the beginning of their young lives together, they were laying up a store of memories for the future with a voyage to the Orient. We were to become close friends. And there was Anne, too. Then our President liner headed out to the open sea. The sea that Byron called a glorious mirror, boundless, endless, sublime, the image of eternity. During all my years of teaching, I had dreamed of sailing across the Pacific to the Orient. I drank deep of those first days at sea, lazy days in the sunshine, the fresh salt air. Almost everybody was on deck, taking it easy. But some of us got right busy at deck tennis, heaving the donut, the captain called it. He was an excellent player. On the top deck, another group was usually busy at paddle tennis. Most all of us, young and old, played shuffleboard, the traditional game on every ship. Too bad. It can be a wicked game. As the days went by and we steamed toward Hawaii, the swimming pool became the focal point of our activities. The deck around the pool was the best place to pick up a suntan and just to be lazy. Sometimes there was a tea dance on the marine veranda. We came dressed as we were. The important thing was to relax and to have fun. Yes, I had been right in feeling that no other form of travel could compare with a cruise on an ocean liner. Ahead of us lay Hawaii, and then the Orient. Hawaii, and Diamond Head, and Honolulu, until now just names on a map. On shore, the vendors awaited us with the traditional symbol of Hawaiian welcome, the fresh, colorful lei. I'll never forget the rich fragrance and the luxuriant beauty of Hawaii. Through lovely Nuuanu Valley, we drove up to the Pali and saw the precipice over which ruthless King Kamehameha pushed thousands of enemy warriors in order to bring Hawaii under his rule. Then down to the shore to get a close look at the coral reefs with which the islands are fringed. The beach at Waikiki, with Diamond Head in the background, was just as I had imagined it. But the Hula girls were a most pleasant surprise. Beyond, the green-blue waters inside the coral reef, where bronzed, sturdy men rode the surf with graceful boards. Usually, that is. And outrigger canoes, manned by hardy Kanakas, glided along with those who felt no need or desire to ride aboard. We headed westward from Hawaii, happy in the thought that we would return again to Honolulu on our way home. Now the Orient lay ahead of us, across the pleasant waters of the blue Pacific. Oh, for the life of a sailor. Maybe going to sea today is less colorful than in the days of the China clipper ships, but it's always romantic to lovers of the sea. Everything gets polished on board ship, from brass bells to ballerinas. Sorry, I couldn't let that one go. The beauty shop was really a busy place. Not so much because the ladies needed it, but because it was fun. And we men enjoyed Charlie's expert services. Even more, we enjoyed his informal stories of the Orient, which he knew so intimately. The gift shop was a veritable modern sea chest, where one could find treasures for every use, gifts from all over the world. Wanda found a new coat. She couldn't wait to show it to her husband. Walter liked it too, and took her picture in it. He was only one of many who had brought cameras on board. Their films were processed by the ship's photographer, a professional. His pictures, and the movies he helped me with, make my adventure more real to me today. We found the telephone a very handy convenience, connecting us with all parts of the ship. The library was a quiet nook, stocked with the best books available. Walter and Wanda often used the writing room to share their experiences with those at home. In the smoking room, there was always a friendly game in progress. Colorful mahjong. And bridge, of course. Very serious. And poker. Well, in some cases, it wasn't quite so friendly, I guess. The children's party in the marine veranda was as gay an occasion as any on the voyage. Ice cream and cake are very important at such times. While the children were tucking it away, I became better acquainted with Anne. She was taking her niece and nephew to their parents in Manila. During several hours of the day, Anne left the youngsters with the nurse in the children's playroom. Where they had the time of their lives. We all enjoyed the full comfort of our staterooms. Our ship was like a home afloat. It takes a woman to appreciate the many conveniences of our new American President liners. Commodious chests of drawers, large, well-placed mirrors, indirect lighting, air conditioning, individually controlled in each room, ample closet space, which reminds me that one day, early in the voyage, the young folks' steward found incriminating evidence. Walter enjoyed the shower, though, like most husbands, he sometimes yelled, "Wanda, where's my clean shirt?" But this bride had no laundry troubles. She had learned about the ship's laundry, where sheets, pillowcases, tablecloths, napkins, towels, everything was washed and dried efficiently. Ironed without a wrinkle. Sports clothes pressed. Dress shirts ironed by hand. Then carefully checked and returned by the bellboy who picked them up. No worries about limp or wrinkled collars here. Really an excellent job. With such conveniences at hand, we found dressing for dinner no great chore. Especially when we could look forward to a cocktail with friends. We ate in the California room, one of the 2 dining rooms on board. Our dinner menus were works of art, and every meal a banquet. Anne said, "If you want to find good food, look at the kitchen." Of course, she meant the galley, so we looked at the galley. Yes, the food and the service on our President liner, our American hotel abroad, was excellent. Equally as good as the best service I have enjoyed on several trips to Europe. Ah, those crepe Suzettes. The elevator was certainly a welcome convenience, especially after dinner. We found the lounge a pleasant place to spend an occasional hour or 2. But there were other things to do. Always something going on in some part of the ship. Musical concerts, dancing, masquerade parties, theatricals. The movies were shown in the marine veranda, with starlight coming in through the big windows. We certainly enjoyed those films, the best that Hollywood had to offer. And waking 2 days later. But the world was still the same pleasant place we knew on the non-existent yesterday. Clear blue sky and water, warm sunshine, and a beautiful ship to enjoy. She was like a private yacht. In the Southwest Pacific with the 41st Infantry. That was one of the reasons why he wanted to make this trip with Wanda. The people on the dock gave us a warm welcome. We were all anxious to be ashore and to see how our friends, the Filipinos, were coming along with the rebuilding of their capital city, Manila. Less than a mile from our ship was Intramuros, the old walled city, established by the Spaniards in the 16th century. Intramuros was once a great cultural and religious center. Across the Pasig River is the Escolta, the Fifth Avenue of Manila, where one may buy a Kodak or a Coca-Cola, or any number of native articles of beauty and usefulness. I shall never forget the busy, narrow streets of Manila, with their bright colors and happy people, and carts of all kinds, and flowers. Quiapo Church is one of the many historical places of worship in Manila. Its exterior is a splendid example of Spanish architecture. And its quiet interior reminded me of shrines I had seen in Latin America. All Americans will remember Santo Tomas, for here 4,000 of our fellow countrymen were imprisoned for the duration of the war. But we had no desire to sit around for long drinking tea when there was so much to see. We found the Tondo Market a most interesting place. This farmer's wife had come to the city to make a few sales. The Pasig River, which flows through the heart of Manila, is only 14 miles long, but it is packed with interesting things to see, like duck farms and dugout canoes and people fishing to pass Corregidor at sunset. But it's quite an oriental city nevertheless. Its streets and buildings are clean and modern. The Chinese add the rich color, which makes Hong Kong one of the most interesting places in the Orient. We met a Chinese funeral on Queens Road and hugged the curb to watch it go by. In Hong Kong, camphor wood chests are carved by expert craftsmen, trained from childhood. These chests are really very inexpensive. I brought home 2. Now, I wish that I had brought 6. On the island of Hong Kong, a wealthy Chinese has created a most unusual kind of park, inhabited by weird creatures of fantasy. the place offers a brilliant illustration of what some of us might expect to see in China. This is the Happy Buddha. An entire hillside is covered with strange and beautiful figures. Off Japan, we saw many rugged volcanic islands slip by across the sea. Some of them were mere remnants of volcanoes, burned out ages ago. But many are still alive. A large area of magnificent buildings, surrounded by gardens, all enclosed within high walls and ancient moats. That was enough for us, so we went to Nikko. Walter muffed it a little, but everybody had a good time, including our hostesses. Throughout the countryside, rice was being harvested. And when the harvest was in, came the Festival of Thanksgiving, an exciting, colorful pageant which had its beginning far back in Japanese antiquity. I fully enjoyed our visit to Japan. I had been to many parts of the world, but there's something about Japan that is distinctly different. Well, we had to get back to our President liner waiting for us at Yokohama. It looked good, but there was plenty to do on our return voyage. What a time we all had at the... Anything goes. Anything. Our Chinese group won the top prize. That's cocoa we smeared on Walter. Others were good too. Don't be a pig. One's enough. Afterward, we danced. Anne wore a Filipino costume. When I returned after changing my costume, she was dancing with an officer, the bum, Well, I just had to barge in, that's all. It was really a wonderful evening. The captain's dinner was the grand finale of our voyage. It was sort of an occasion for Anne and for me, too. The captain kept us in high spirits with his humor. Walter and Wanda seemed completely at peace with themselves and with all the world. Yes, travel has a deeper meaning to me now. It isn't just touring. It's the source of a quiet satisfaction and appreciation of all that is noble and good in this world of ours. And I know now that only from the deck of an ocean liner can one appreciate travel at its very best, visiting picturesque ports of call for a few exciting days, then out to sea again, to rest, to dream, to store up memories.